What is up? What is good lifers? Today we're going to talk about why your life is what it is and why it isn't what you want it to be. Here we are in my echo chamber. This is a workshop in my building, and it's just echoey, all right? But so don't pay too much attention to that. Listen to the words. So in life, we have expectations. Right? Do you have expectations? You probably expect people to do things. You expect yourself to do things. You expect things to go certain ways. You expect certain things to be easy, certain things to be hard, certain things to be impossible, certain things to be possible. Get where I'm going with this? So, this universe, this place we live, it is, if you've been listening to me for any time, scientifically speaking, it's just a massive ball of energy that takes its forms, and our senses, seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching, senses interpret the vibrations, the frequency, to give us what we have, what we see, what we experience. And as I say that may challenge you, or you may think, yeah, that sounds good, but something inside you doesn't quite let you live by it. Because you're at a certain age, and you've lived a lot of your life with no one ever telling you this. I did. No one was talking about this in South Dakota. What? No one was talking about this. To this day, no one's talking about this. Not there. You want to talk about Christianity and Jesus? Yeah, everyone's talking about that, but that's not founded in anything solid or scientific. What I'm talking about is science. If you pay attention in your science classes, you'll see, oh, yes, actually this is what it is. But very few people actually just make the connection and talk about it more. You talk about atoms, talk about electrons, protons, elements. So stay with me, because I'm going around, I'm getting to a point on this. And it's very clear that science shows us that everything is just transformless. No, that's not the word. Formless energy. It's literally invisible. It literally is in all places at all times. That's mostly a quantum mechanics, quantum physics. And it takes form based on the observer, the most common. Again, stay with me on this, okay? If you're getting too lost, just stay with me. I'm going to get back to a big point for you, but try to follow this, okay? The most well-known experiment, scientific experiment, is called the double slit experiment. What they did is they shot some protons. Don't worry about what protons look like. They shot energy through these two slits in a panel, right? So you got like a panel here, but there's two slits, and the energy goes through, and they expected, on the other side, when they looked at the wall, what was behind the panel, right? If you shoot something through here, you're gonna see something in the formation of this on whatever it's splattering on, you know what I mean? So, and what they found was not that. What they found is that the protons had gone through in these wave formations, and they had nothing to do with the slit. They just splattered all on the wall in this wave form. Now, think about it. If I give you a big panel and you shoot paint at it, and you got a piece of white wall behind it, what's the paint gonna look like? What's the wall going to look like as you shoot paint through the slits? You're just going to see it kind of roughly in the form of the slits, right? On the white wall behind the panel. You with me? So what if the paint was all of a sudden everywhere? And in a very unusual formation that no one threw it that way or shot it that way or anything. You get what I'm saying? So that made them realize, whoa, what's going on here? And so the next time They put a camera there to watch the protons go through the slits. And what happened this time is the protons were in the formation of the slits as they went through it. So it's like they shot the paint through the slits and it showed up in the shape of the slits, and that's it. They're like, what's going on here? The only thing that changed in this experiment was this camera we added. And they thought about it more, they're like, wow, I think observation makes energy take form. It directs energy. That's consciousness. That's what it is. Observation is consciousness. Observation is consciousness. Okay? Let that sink in for a second. So, to go back through that, this is really important, I swear to God. Just stay with me on this. Double slit experiment. 2 slits, shoot protons through it. There was no camera, and it ended up being everywhere behind the panel, everywhere. And they're like, how? That's not possible, right? Because if I have a panel and I shoot paint through it, and there's a white wall behind it, it's just going to be kind of roughly where on the white wall, it's just going to be like where the paint is or where the slits were. But instead, it's like the paint got everywhere, right? I'm using that analogy again. I'll probably come up with a better one later. But then they put a camera on and said, all right, we're watching now. And the energy, it went through the slits as expected. You see where I'm going with this now? As expected. We started this whole thing out talking about expectations. Now, the formless energy that was everywhere, when they weren't observing it, giving it any expectation, it was everywhere. But when they observed it with the camera, they observed it, all of a sudden there was expectations, and it went through the slits as they expected, because they directed the energy. Not knowingly, they just did, because that's what we do. So, expectations. Your life is today what it is because of what you expect. And you've lived many years, you've lived years, and you have learned from other people in your environment to expect certain things in a certain way. Maybe you have financial struggles. Maybe you have weight struggles. Maybe making money is very easy for you. Maybe being fit and healthy is very easy for you. What's the difference? It's the expectation. If you were to really ask someone that's really fit, or someone that's really wealthy, and someone that's really broke, and someone that's really overweight, after questioning them for a while, you'll realize they think differently. They have different thoughts and beliefs and expectations. Okay, well, Matt, that makes sense, because when I decide to do something, I do it. Well, do you? Let's get way deeper. If you ever hear yourself or someone else saying, I can't do this because of this, or I could do that, but, or, yeah, that's easy to do. Yeah, I can do that. There's all different kinds, different expectations. And what's interesting is that your life completely is a manifestation of your expectations. And as I say that, you're like, yes, if something about that makes sense. Or maybe you're like, no. Either way, it doesn't matter because it's the truth. Science shows us that over and over and over again. Our life shows us that over and 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 over again, whether we're paying attention to it or not. If you actually go look at how everything goes, if you actually look at it, look at it much deeper and with more clarity, more focus than you ever have, you'll see that, you know what? I guess my life is meeting my expectations. That's not going to convince you, though, me saying it that way. So that's why I was talking about the energy, the atoms, the formlessness that makes up this entire universe. You're just a little tiny human in this massive universe, okay? But your life is important. What you do is important. And the universe is everything in all places at the same time. And religion teaches us that. They call it God. They put their own patent on it. But that's what it is. It's not some dude in the clouds. It's not some dude in the clouds. It's not some dude in the clouds. It's not a dude. It's not a girl. It's not anything. It is everything, including you and me. Everything. And everything we can see and touch, and everything we can't see, can't touch, don't sense at all. Think about it like this. Have you ever thought about, I'm on my phone right now, shooting this video for you. Have you ever thought about how crazy Wi-Fi is? Or radio is? Like, Wi-Fi? Do you really think about how wild that is? You can be sitting here on your phone, and there's some waves, Wi-Fi, just out there that you can't see, you can't sense it at all, but your phone can pick up on it because it has a receiver set to interpret those signals. You get that? Now, I could make it simply and say your phone expects to interpret and receive those signals, right? We expect our phones to receive those signals. But think about it, like this little thing you got plugged into the wall shoots out some magical waves that you can't see at all, and it just picks up on your phone, and you can browse the internet, you can post things. I can post this video. I'm going to post this video through Wi-Fi to publish on the internet where people all over the world can see it. You think about how crazy that is? But you know what? That's exactly what life is. You are a receiver and a transmitter. Your expectations are your transmission, what you put out. And then you receive back what you put out. This is what I teach. This is the truth. This is what I'm going to beat the drum. Because everything else you think that isn't that is wrong. And it is fucking you up. It is fucking you up. It is fucking you up. What you expect, you get. Look at your life. What do you got? That's what you're expecting. And what's interesting is because here's what most of us will say, well, this is the way it's always been. You look at the past and you look at the now and you say, well, this is what I expect because this is the way it's been and this is the way it is. And we just keep reliving that expectation of what it was and what it is, instead of having an expectation of what it can be, what it will be. Are you with me? Are you fucking with me? I'm going to swear a little bit more because I really want to make these points. Expectations. What do you expect? Serious. Serious. And don't listen to the bullshit going on in your head. What you expect is what you get. If you look to the past or the present as your reference for what to expect, you will keep getting more of the same. If you want something different, you have to expect different. And I'm not saying this in some woo-hoo, unfounded bullshit way. That's why I took the time to explain, at the cost of putting you to sleep, explaining fucking science to show exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly how it works. All science shows us that. It will fact. Whatever you think different, wrong. And wherever you learned it, they were wrong. Whoever told you whatever's around, it was wrong. We're walking around with tons of misinformation in our minds, and that fucks up our experience. I shouldn't put it that way. That's not what I mean. It doesn't fuck up your experience. It can be frustrating if you want something else and you wonder why you aren't getting it. Okay? You can't do life wrong. There's no right and wrong in that. I mean, whatever choices you're making, you're getting benefits. Even if you're broke, you're getting benefits of being broke, whether you're aware of it or not. And drawbacks. If you get rich, all the benefits and the lifestyle. Well, you know what? There are fucking drawbacks to being rich. Right? I mean, life just ends up being what it is. The reality is, do you expect to be happy? Do you expect happiness today? Do you expect to feel joy? Because it's your feelings. It's your feelings that will guide you into where you want to go. And here it is. Feel good. Choose to feel good. Choose to feel gratitude. And it's not hard work to do that. Just think about things you're grateful for. That's it. Don't try to connect them to what you want. Just feel good, and then you will get yourself in the receiving state for all the good that you want. Does that make sense? Because if you're sitting here feeling bad, you're going to get more to feel bad about. And you've heard this a million times. But that's why I explain this science, so that you can add some logic to this emotion. Add some logic to it. Here it is. Fact. Don't question it. You can get rid of the resistance to it. So it's 15 minutes now, 16. And I could keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. But I said a lot. Watch this again and again. You get what you expect. If you look to the past and the present for what to expect, you will only get what you've always got. It's fact, man, fact. If you look forward to what you want, very important, looking forward to what you want from the perspective of I don't have it, that ain't gonna work. But I'm not gonna get into all that. I just wanted to throw that out there quick. Just look at it. And you don't have to put any hard pressure on yourself. It's think about what you want and just daydream about it. You know, don't let any of that bullshit of, oh, I don't have it come in, or this is why I can't, or this is why it's hard, or this is why it's challenging. This universe, it's the rigged game. It can just do anything. It exists everywhere, at all times, in every form, in every way possible. Infinity. Don't you sit there and put your little human mind to it. Just go feel good. Put yourself in the receiving state. Receiving state. And as I say that, your mind is fucking with you. Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah, but the people around me, they just blah 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 blah. Don't make excuses. Excuses fuck you up. Excuses fuck you up. They keep you right where you are, sometimes even bring you back. Excuses don't move you forward. You don't have to, it's so much easier than that. Just think about what you want. And feel good. You'll put yourself in a fucking energetic vibration that receives. Like if my phone is somewhere where there is no service, I cannot receive a call or a text or the internet or Wi-Fi or any of it. What I'm saying to you is when you don't feel good, you're out of service. You're out of service. When you feel good and you are in a state of, you're just thinking about things you like, things you're happy for, things you're grateful for, you all of a sudden get in service and you're connected back in, baby. You're in the receiving state. Does that make sense? Get what you expect. Expect more. But don't think about it too hard. If that makes sense, just think about it and feel good. Because you're here, you're this infinite intelligence that took form into this body, which is just a vessel, and you are consciousness plugged into it. It's a lot like the Matrix, it really is. It sounds weird, right? Because you see all this, but humble up. We don't know shit. We don't know shit. I mean, are you kidding? Compared to the infinite intelligence of the fucking universe, we don't know shit. So don't think about it. Don't think about it too hard at all. Just go feel good. Just go live your life and feel good and expect things. Expect good things to happen to you. Expect your dreams to come true. Expect to feel good, because it's easy to feel good. You just sit there and think, well, what were the good things that happened to me today? Well, I got up, I went for a walk along the ocean. It was sunny today. I found a really good course to listen to. I got inspired by that. I went and had a nice coffee, a nice chat with the person that gave me the coffee. I saw a soccer game today. That was nice because it felt good to be around that energy. And I went and had lunch with my partner, and we went around and just kind of moseyed about the day and ran into her sister and talked with her for a while. That was nice. I don't get to see her very much. And these things, and you just start to remember your day from the good things that happen, because lots of good things happen to you every day. But you're probably so used to not even really thinking about it. Maybe you just dwell on one negative, stupid ass thing that happened 3 months ago and it's still bothering you. That's what I'm talking about. You're focusing on the past and keeping it in the present. Focus on the future and bring yourself forward. I gotta stop this video. It's gonna take so goddamn long to upload, and I've probably already talked your ear off, and I don't want to confuse you. Just feel good. And that puts you in the receiving state. That puts you in service. And expect good things to happen to you. Not expect good things to happen to me. I expect good things to happen to me. Like you're forcing it. Just good things happen to me. Yeah. Today, this good thing happened to me. Today, this good thing. Yesterday, this good thing. Yesterday, this good thing. Today, this good thing. And you'll just build evidence quickly, just like that. Exactly the way I just shared it with you. I expect good things to happen to me. Here are good things that happened to me today. I did this, I saw this, I had this, I ran into this. This was happening, talked to this person, this thing fell on my lap. And all of a sudden, your literal scientific fucking vibration of this meat suit you have, it will change. And it will put you in a receiving state for good things that match things of how you feel. And it's not logical. I mean, it is, if you pay attention to the science I'm explaining to you, but it's not normal. It's not the way even a fraction of 1% of people think. It's not what you're taught. It's not what you've been taught. It's not what most of the people around you probably think, but that doesn't matter. As you expect different and live this, people around you will magically change. Or they may, some may leave, some may come. Whatever. Because things will just show up in your life. Like on Friday, I had a real estate deal close. I didn't even know I had one coming. And throughout the week, I'd made a decision to stop working on something else or spend less time working on something else that I don't really like working on. And work on something else that I really love working on. And the thing I don't like makes me a certain amount of money. And the thing I do like doesn't really make me that much money yet. And then what happened on Friday, I just had a deal come through. I didn't even know it was coming. It just showed up. Oh yeah, but Matt, you knew one was closing in July. Well yeah, but I thought it was later in the month. And just because it's supposed to close in July doesn't mean it's ever even gonna fucking close. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong and all kinds of things that can go right. What I'm saying is throughout the week, I was very different, and I put myself in a receiving state, and I focused on things and didn't think so much about, I can't do that because then I won't be doing this and getting this income from this, blah, blah, blah. Things just showed up. And I can think of so many times in my life that that's happened. And yet, I still doubt it sometimes, right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say, look at me, I'm perfect, I get it, man. I mean, no one taught me this. I'm still learning this. I'll never stop. I don't think you're like, all right, I know it all. That's stupid. That's not a thing. It's not real. God, almost 25 minutes. It's gonna take me so long to upload this video. All right, I'm gonna cut it off. Do you get what I'm saying? Feel good. It'll put you in service to receive the good that is waiting for you. And expect the universe to bring you the good you want. That's all I have for you. And that's about all you need to know. If you start thinking about that too much, you'll fuck it all up and put yourself out of service. Bye.